Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fort Scott Sports Live. I'm Drake Miller. I'll be taking you through the action on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We've got Neosho County visiting the Fort Scott Greyhounds here on a beautiful April 11th. Hope you guys all had a wonderful Easter weekend previously. Up first, we have Jaden Willard, the infielder for Neosho County. Ground ball hit to the second base and flipped over for the first out of the top of the first. That's Danny Perez on the play. Next up to the plate is going to be number 14 for Neosho County. That's going to be Reese Norris. Norris, Chinook, Kansas native. Another grounder. Perez fields clean over to Carr for the second out as the infield comes alive early here in this first inning. The pitcher on the mound for this Fort Scott squad is going to be Aubrey Kinsey. Kinsey already putting in some good work through these first two batters. Number 8 for Neosho County is going to be Pyler Cox. Takes strike one there. 1-1 count to start off her count. First round of at-bats that these ladies are getting to see Kinsey, as Kinsey is very fast on the mound, as we've seen previously here on Fort Scott Sports Live. She's one of those pitchers that just kind of steps up and delivers pretty quickly. No real hesitation. Actually, I think last time we saw her on Fort Scott Sports Live, she had a warning for rushing, but this one's back up the middle for Cox into center field, and she'll be standing on first for a single here with two gone in the top of the first. Brings up number 18, Brenna Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer takes strike one. Starting off up in the count. Kinsey going quick. Delivers. This one swung on into center. It's tracking to the wall. Makes its way to the ground. Cox makes her way to third, and the throw comes home to shut down any more movement on the bases. Two runners in scoring position for Neosho County here early in the first, which brings up 5-hole here for Neosho County. Delaney Hill. Hill sees the outside pitch for ball one. Very combating wind here, as it appears to be relatively northbound. Hill with a 1-1 count outside for ball two. Kinsey just kind of keeping her on her toes here for this at-bat. Had the first two batters gone. That's kind of the sign for pitchers to just kind of keep delivering, let the defense work, you're rolling. But now two runners on after that. Might need to play around with the zone a little bit more. Now results in a 3-1. Three one's the count. The pitch swung on, fouled down the first base line. Brings the count full for Hill to try and continue this inning for Neosho County. The 3-2 on its way. and does not find the zone. Very close there, but I believe just a tad low from Kinsey. Not a bad pitch given the circumstance and how Hill was batting that entire at-bat, so nothing to be too upset about. You kept a runner from batting one home, but now you got to restart. Chasing that outside corner, ball one on the new batter at the plate, number 26, Caitlin Bass. Swung on, fouled, into the backstop for strike one. Good plate integrity from a lot of these batters so far, being able to see the ball very well. Squares up to bunt early. Not fooling a lot of people, as given the situation, you just tag home. Maybe a little bit of a mental game there with the pitcher, though. Still fouled off, 1-2 count. 2 gone, bases loaded for Caitlin Bass. And up and away for ball 2. If you're Kinsey, you probably would have liked to see that one a little bit closer, try to get her to chase, but nonetheless, not a bad throwaway. So this one's fouled off as well. Getting hyped up from the runner on third, which is Cox. Two count. Kinsey delivers. Up top for ball 3. Still keeping it relatively close, keeping those batters on their toes. Bass has had to think through basically all 3 of the balls on the scoreboard. Now here's the 3-2. Popped up. It's going to be shallow outfield and reeled in by Perez, who delegates all 3 outs in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom. Zeros on the board.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate mountain.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Crochan. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crochan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.net, or excuse me, ruralfiber.org, or you can also visit ckt.net to get started today. Crochan, a presenting sponsor of Fort Scott Sports Live and today's softball broadcast. On the mound for this Neosho County squad is going to be number 8. That is Pyler Cox. She was the one standing on third at the end of that inning, wanting to make her way home. Behind the plates, number 26 is going to be Caitlin Bass, who was the final batter in that inning. So both players getting active early on. And now to start off the lineup, the right fielder, Cabry Parmley.
Leading off for your Greyhounds, number 3, Cabry Parmley.
Parmley, traditionally an infielder out of Diamond, Missouri. First pitch is too high for ball 1. And this Neosho County team really knows how to hype each other up. They are speaking, gesturing after just about every pitch, whether it's on offense or defense. They're trying to keep the vibes high. Parmley takes strike 1 there. Just trying to feel out this new pitcher on the first at-bat of the game. Could be a tough task. Got to have a certain kind of mental integrity. 1-1 count, wind up, deliver, in for strike 2. 1-2 count. So now Parmalee gonna have to square up, maybe choke up on the bat a little bit, try to make some contact here. Cannot go down looking. Not the tempo that you want to start this game off on. 2-2 count. The pitch. High. Brings the count full for the righty. Parmalee settles in again. Has yet to really even check swing. Can assume she'll probably get one here. And close, but no, does not find the zone. Parmalee with some great plate integrity takes the walk. Starting with a 1-2 all the way to a 4-2 count. Didn't even have to move the bat. Not a bad nerve breaker to start the game off. Brings up Madeline Burdick, catcher. Another righty to follow as that sits in strike 1. A 1 inside. That one barely tailed at the end of the pitch. Looked like it was going to catch Burdick on the quad, but no. Makes its way just to the inside of the plate for ball 1. 1-1 count. Parmalee trying to time out that windup over there on first. Burdick fouled it off. Strike 2. 1-2 count as it sits. Neosho County takes their positions again. One-two is out of the glove. Parmalee takes off, makes her way to second, and stands up in scoring position. Great awareness by the base runner, Parmalee. As soon as that ball popped out of the glove, she was 3-4 steps off the bag and was ready to roll on to second. 2-2 count now. Burdick with an RBI chance, but still battling in her own count. This one's popped up and out of play. Two sits in for strike 3. A hard-fought count, but it's only the first of the inning. That's been 2 pretty drawn-out at-bats for Pyler Cox. Not exactly the way you want to start off a game, but you've collected an out. You've got 1 runner in scoring position, but now Nadia Way, who had a walk-off a couple weeks ago, this time swung on into center. It's reeled in, thrown to third. Is it there in time? It is. A double play, a most unconventional one, will wrap up the bottom of the first. We head into the second inning. 0s on the board on Fort Scott Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Up first for Neosho County is going to be wearing number 1. That is Abby Godfrey. Following the double play after a tough strikeout as well. This Neosho County team has a lot of momentum rolling into this inning. Granted, it is only the second inning, so not a lot has manufactured so far, with both teams sitting at a goose egg apiece. 2-0 count for Godfrey to start this count off. And that sits in for strike 1. Kinsey finding her groove once again, and that is one thing these batters do not want her to do. Swung on, fouled, strike 2. On deck for Neosho County will be number 16, Anna Eberly. Three-two count for Godfrey at the plate. And that sits in for strike 3. Kinsey wraps up a hard-fought at-bat with a backwards K. One gone here in the top of the second. Anna Eberly steps in, swings at the first, fouls it into the backstop. Following her will be Sadie Bowyer. One count, the pitch. Ooh, oh, gets it. I couldn't hear the call, but he signs for strike. 1-2 count. I was gonna be surprised if that one didn't end up in the zone somewhere. Kinsey going quick, now up to a 2-2 count. Trying to keep her innings brief. Keep the stress on these batters, don't give them any time to breathe. Here's the 2-2, popped up and just into right center for a base hit. With one gone, Eberly stands up on first. So now Sadie Bowyer steps in. And she will be the last in the lineup, as Jaden Willard will follow with Reese Norris in the hole. Squares up, called strike. I don't know if they called her for swinging or not. I don't believe she got it back in time, but regardless, comes across the plate, strike 1. No movement from over there on first, as the infield collapsed on the bunt. I was very surprised. This one squared up, picked up, flipped to first in time, and almost a little bit too far out of Eberly. But that'll be out number 2 on the sac bunt from Bowyer. Brings up the top of the lineup, Jaden Willard now. Clean count, runner on second. See what she can manufacture and take strike one. Willard grounded out to second on her first at-bat. And takes strike two there. Epperly getting a little bit of fast feet over there on second. A very dramatic lead. Be hard for Burdick to throw that one all the way across to second, but she will not hesitate to try and throw her out at third. As that one comes across ball one. 1-2 count between Willard and Kinsey. And that one's just a bit high. Comes across 2-2 now. Counts tied up. Here in the top of the second. 2 gone. Runner on second. Once again, squaring to bunt early. This one fouled from Willard. Keeps her count alive. That one almost ended up in the glove of Burdick, but just did not quite reel it in to collect the foul tip strikeout. 2-2 on its way. Swung on to Perez at second and flipped over to first in time for out number 3. They leave another one on in the top of the second as we head to the bottom. Zeros on the board.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8150.
And we're back on Fort Scott Sports Live. Still no scoring yet as a hard hit grounder back up the middle makes its way past the glove of the second baseman, number 11, Jaden Willard. And Meek stands up on first. Leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. Brings up Kaylin Gregg. Following Gregg will be Kylie Goad, as Gregg takes strike one there. Might see a little bit more conservative base running in this inning as opposed to the last. Obviously with Parmley getting thrown out at third. Complicates things just a little bit. As a swing and a miss for strike two from Gregg. Cox comes set on the mound, delivers up top for ball one. Breaks some ice on this at-bat for Gregg. Now feeling just slightly more comfortable after seeing the error from Cox. See what she can rally with now. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cox collects the strikeout.
Now batting, number 1, Kylie Goad.
Brings up Kylie Goad. Another righty stepping into the box here. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So that's 4 consecutive strikes that have not been made contact with from Cox. She's feeling herself now. 0-1 count. Sets in for strike 2. Not what Goad was looking for on pitch 2 of this at-bat, but now sits deep in the count and gotta try to work your way out of it. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pilar Cox, as Caitlin Carr now steps in, and I would assume Meek is probably being told over there, you know, we got to be moving. We got to get you around the bases somehow. Any and every thing that gets past this catcher, I want to see you on second. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1 from Carr. Following Caitlin Carr will be Amaya Carr. Go 1. Swung on, popped up, shallow, outfield, pops out of the glove in foul territory. A lucky break would have been better if it were about 5 feet to the right. Would have resulted in a base hit and a runner on second. Now an 0-2 count. Too high for ball 1. One, two's the count. And that one's a little late on the delivery as well. Carr squares up. Swung on, fouled. Once again. And that one is taking a trip to the parking lot. Count stands 2-2 with 2 gone and a runner on first. Caitlin Carr trying to keep this inning alive and rung up on a strike 3. That was not what she was looking for, but a nice swing in to that zone. That one looked like that was going to catch her as well. So we will head into the top of the 3rd. Zeros on the board for Fort Scott Sports Live. We'll be right back.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back on Fort Scott Sports Live as Kinsey remains on the mound. Ooh, might be the most errant of her pitches so far today, but got that one out of the way, and a good snag by Burdick behind the plate to keep it in front of her, even though wouldn't have been consequential. Norris at the plate, starting it off with the 1-1 count. Swung on, fouled. Down the right field, not right base, right field side. First base side as well. And that sits in for strike 3. Kinsey collects a backwards K to start off the 3rd inning. So 1 gone as Cox, now she has been the closest out of anybody to making it home, standing on 3rd at the end of the top of the 1st. Takes strike 1 there. Had the first hit of the game as well, which was swung on back up the middle. Made its way into center field and then advanced all the way around on a double from Kohlmeyer. But now sits with an 0-2 count. 1 out, no runners on. The pitch. Ooh. Close there from Kinsey. Certainly what she was going for, trying to get Cox to chase something on the outside. Now the 1-2. I think that was just a bit high. Kinsey winds up, swung on, back to the first baseman, Carr, as she tags first for out number 2 here in the top of the 3rd. So Kohlmeyer, the last of the guaranteed batters here in this inning. Following her would be Delaney Hill and Caitlin Bass in the hole, as that looked solid from Kinsey, but must have been just outside of the zone. 1-0 count. Finds it there. Like I said, Kohlmeyer with a double on her last at-bat. That one found the fence out there in left center. This time swung on, hard hit, will travel into right. Parmalee picks it up, tosses it in, and Kohlmeyer's got 2 doubles on the day. Now the question with 2 outs, can Delaney Hill bring her home? Hill with a walk to her record so far in this contest. Has not seen the bat to the ball just yet. 1-0 count to start. This one swung on and tails foul by maybe 3 or fewer feet. Would have certainly brought home a run in Kohlmeyer had that been fair, and would have probably ended up on 3rd at the end of the equation. 1-1 count. That sits in for strike 2. Beautiful pitch out of Kinsey. Really hitting all points in the zone. Trying to keep Hill on her toes. This one, little dinky down the first base line, and that will collect the third out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Still zeros as the Greyhounds look to break the ice first.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back in the bottom of the third. Leading off will be Amaya Carr. Following her will be Danny Perez. And then it's back to the top of the lineup. Swing and tipped as Carr is getting told keep that head down, and you can kind of see it there at the end. Her chin kind of flew up. I think she just kind of lost track of that pitch. 0-1 count, now 0-2 as she sees that one through. Not a lot of momentum being gathered from this Fort Scott team offensively. So far, only 2 base runners. Parmley was able to make it to second and then thrown out at third. And then you had Meek standing on first the entirety of last inning. See what Carr can do. It seems like these leadoff hitters in the lineup have been the most successful so far. Oh, 2 count, up top for ball 1. Cox winds up. The pitch popped up and into the glove of the catcher, Caitlin Bass. Out number 1 comes in a not so great fashion.
Now batting number 10, Danny Perez.
So now Danny Perez will step in. See if she can break the ice here. Swing and a miss for strike 1. As previously mentioned, Cabry Parmley up next. Followed by her will be, or following her will be Madeline Burdick and Nadia Way. Inside for ball 1 for Perez. One is fouled away. Cox trying to get yet another. You could see the side spin on that. Trying to get it to tail into the right, her right, our left, as viewers. 2-2 count. Full count now for Perez, following the ball 3. The 3-2 on its way, and Perez will take her base.
Now batting number 3, Cabry Parmalee.
So now it's back to the top of the lineup, and I would say advantage Fort Scott here. You know, you've been through the lineup once before. All of these batters now have the pitcher Cox. You're starting to get familiar with it. You've only got one out with a runner on, a fast one at that, and Danny Perez. So she's going to be looking to cycle these bases quickly, put this ball in play, and there's a good chance she ends up on third. And there she goes, headed for 2, and makes it. So now with the 0-2 count, Parmalee now a runner in scoring position. Will need to play a little bit defensive at the plate. You would have liked to have a strike of room here. Had that been the case, we might have seen her square up to bunt, but can't do it with the given situation, so she swings away, fouled off. The 0-2 is fouled off again. Parmalee keeping herself alive at the plate. Swung on, popped up in the shallow outfield as, ooh, that was actually close to making contact with Perez standing on second. She was a bit of a pillar there to try and provide some obstruction on that. Would have been interesting to see how that played out, but of course, here comes Nadia Way. Excuse me, Madeline Burdick way up next in the lineup. Burdick with the 0-1. Popped up again. This one's in the infield and reeled in. First baseman Delaney Hill makes the play, and we will head to the 4th. Still no scoring on the board yet. Both teams have had runners in scoring position almost every inning, so we will see how this plays out as they are about one at-bat away from breaking this one open. We'll be right back.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering this service.
And we're back for the top of the fourth. Still nothing on the board for either of these teams, Neosho County and Fort Scott Community. Excuse me. One's the count for the leadoff here in the top of the fourth. Caitlin Bass takes strike two there as Kinsey remains on the mound for Fort Scott. Swung on into the gap between first and second. Reeled in by Parmley and Wright. Perez flips it back, and Bass of Neosho County will stand up on first. A leadoff single. This has been the formula so far today. The blueprint, if you will. As this is popped up into the infield and caught. About how these innings have gone so far. Lead off on base, maybe one more to follow. That was all we saw. The only time we saw that was in the top of the first. As this is swung on up the middle, finds the grass and into center as they will advance. Base to second, and now standing on first is Anna Eberly. One pitch in, and she was making contact, so see if this opens up some opportunity for Neosho County. Sadie Bowyer laid down a bunt on her last at-bat. We'll see if that's what happens here as, Base looked like she had a almost tumble over there trying to get back to second. 0-1 pitch, swung on and fouled. So it looks like they're wanting her to hit. Try and make some contact, put the ball in play. Of course, it's a little bit different with the force out at third. Bowyer takes ball one. One-two count. Swung on and driven into the left field side. Foul. Hard hit ball though out of Bowyer. See if she can get one of those straightened out. Count's knotted up at 2 apiece. Neosho County in prime position to try and break a lead in this game. We have seen Fort Scott manage on defense time and time again, be able to shut down these dangerous situations. Can Aubrey Kinsey prevail? Too low. Full count, on its way, swing and a miss for strike three. A huge strikeout at the bottom of the Neosho County lineup. making it back to the top with 2 outs now. Runners have not advanced. Still on first and second. Now a much more comfortable situation, and even more so now as the Greyhounds head back to the dugout. Willard grounding out to third. A great play by the third baseman, Kinley Meek, will wrap up the top of the fourth. We headed to the bottom as the Greyhounds once again trying to get it done.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Rasp gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload.
Naughty away, opening up the bottom of the fourth as we are officially halfway through this contest. 3.5 innings deep in the bottom of the fourth. Way starts it off with 0-1 count. Cox remains on the mound for Neosho County. No signs of pitching change for either of these teams as Way pokes it out into center and stands up with a leadoff single.
Now batting number 23, Kinley Meek.
Brings up Kinley Meek. As Meek was able to get on base earlier in this contest. There in the top of the second, or bottom of the second, excuse me. Swung on and out of play, foul. The 0-1 count for Meek. Up top for ball one and a check down to first. One pitch on its way, fouled off as well. Meek. Swung on into center, and it will be caught by the center fielder, Bowyer.
Now batting number 9,
getting involved here in the bottom of the fourth. Way still on first, was not able to advance after that first out. Brings up Kalen Gregg, who takes ball one. That sits in for strike one. Cox has been relatively efficient with batters outside of the leadoffs, is what she has been able to manage, as Way takes off for second, and that will result in a single for Greg as the ball reached the grass out in right field. Way was in trouble there for a moment, but that throw to second is actually off of her heel, obstructing the play. So now Kylie Goad with one gone and two on. This one into the gap between short and third will load the bases. Kylie Goad stands on first, Way on third, and Greg on second. As the first real dangerous situation for Neosho County appears here in the bottom of the fourth. Kaylin Carr will step in. Kaylin Carr with a chance to do something pretty remarkable here. Hit to the outfield will more than likely result in 2 runs, for sure 1. Any kind of hit scores 1. Into the outfield could very well score 2. As this one almost finds the gap, but it will score a run regardless. Greg, who was thrown out at third, they hold on to it after the fact. And that will bring Way home for the first run of the game here in the bottom of the fourth. And now Amaya Carr with 2 runners on steps in. 2 outs. Swung on and out of play, foul. Oh, 1's the count. As Carr takes ball 1. Swung on and fouled as well. 2 strike count for Carr with 2 runners on. Cox trying to escape what could be a very long inning for her and the Neosho County team as a whole. So I think they wanted that call for Neosho County, but no dice there for Cox. 2-2 count for Carr. Too high for ball 3. Three-two pitch on its way. Swung on, popped up, and out of play. Keeps Carr at the plate. Pressure growing for both of these teams. If you're Neosho County, you don't want this game to get out of hand. make another loaded bases situation, but if you're Fort Scott, you're trying to extend this inning as you've got some momentum going for you. One run just is not enough as Carr fouls off another. Making Cox work for this strikeout if she's able to collect. Carr as well warming up the bat. Who will come out on top with 2 outs? Carr swung on, deep left field, and that's gone. A 3-run shot for Amaya Carr. Fort Scott leads by 4 now after a huge break in the momentum. So now to follow that, in a 2-out situation, Danny Perez. Nobody on base, trying to basically kickstart another wave of momentum. This can be some of the hardest at-bats for these batters following the home run, 2-out situation. Obviously a very electric moment, but you feel almost as if there's a good chance this at-bat doesn't make it anywhere. But for Perez, right behind you is the top of the order. This is prime position to keep this inning pumping. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. She managed to get her way on base with a walk earlier. Right now, down 1-2 in the count. High and away for ball 2. Two-two's the count. On its way and fouled off. Perez keeping herself alive at the plate. And we saw this out of Carr. Carr had, I think, 2 or 3 two-strike foul balls. Every single strike that came across was a foul ball for Maya Carr, as Perez fouls off another. Cox may be showing some signs of slowing down to these at-bats. Two-two. Sits in for strike 3. Cox reels in the 3rd out, but that will be a 4-run lead for the Greyhounds headed into the top of the 5th. We'll be right back on Fort Scott Sports Live. Neosho County up to bat.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
First pitch swung on here in the top of the fifth and reeled in out in left center. That was the second in the lineup, Reese Norris. Brings up Pyler Cox. Kinsey remains on the mound for Fort Scott. She's dished a shutout so far. Knock on wood. Don't want to commentators jinx this one. But that is a little dinker to the shortstop, Greg, who makes the play. And now 2 outs. A quick 2. Only 3 pitches deep into this inning. Brenna Kohlmeyer, who's got 2 doubles on the day, 2 for 2. Off speed comes in, ball 1. Swung on to Greg at short. One hopper, actually not even. Carr just picks it up off the ground, and that will be out number 3. Quick. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 5th. One of the only 3 up, 3 downs that we've seen since the bottom of the 1st, with Fort Scott Community throw out at 3rd on the double play. So very interesting out of Neosho County as they've been able to get somebody on every inning. But we will head into the bottom of the 5th. Now, 4-0 is the score.
Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th, number 3, Gabriel Barmley.
4-0's the score here in the bottom of the 5th. Gabriel Parmley, the top of the lineup, to lead off. Strike 1 to start off the count. Cox has continued to be effective from the mound. As Parmley sees ball 1 there. 1-1 count. It's a 1-2 count for Parmley at the plate. Low for ball 2. The umpire behind the plate caught one there on that last pitch, which was the break in the action that we just saw. Swung on, headed for right, and will be reeled in. I don't know if that would have been in fair or foul territory at the end of that flight, but it was certainly close. Parmley flies out and now brings up Madeline Burdick. Burdick with one out, no runners on, as that one finds foul territory down the third base side. 0-1 count to start things off for the Fort Scott catcher. One on its way, swung on as well, popped up and out of play down the first base side. 0-2 count for Burdick. The pitch, swung on, finds the gap in right center. Burdick rounds first and slides in to second.
Now batting number 12, Nadia Way.
Brings up Nadia Way with one out and a runner on second. Favorable situation as she was able to make her way around the bases on her previous at-bat. Had a base hit, ended up on first, and then was rallied all the way around in a bases loaded situation. One's the count. Kinley Meek on deck in the lineup as Way swing and a miss for strike two. One, two. That's just a bit low for ball two. These ladies continuing to show some plate integrity in this contest, both sides able to really see these all the way across the plate. Now a full count for Way. Back-to-back balls, and now pressure's on for both of these. Cox and Way dueling. One out and a runner on second. Cox trying to prevent another one from coming in. It's popped up. Shallow outfield and reeled in by the shortstop, Godfrey. So now Kinley Meek.
Now batting number 23, Kinley Meek.
Meek with two outs and a runner on second now. Bit of a different situation. Got to be protective of the plate. Swings at the first one. Fouled grounder down the third base side. Another one. Fouled off over the backstop. 0-2 count for Meek. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. One-two is popped up on the first base side and foul. Well out of play. It has been a battle at the plate for most of these at-bats from Cox. She has been having a hard time as of these last 3 innings to really settle in and sit down these at-bats. A lot of help from the defense. I wonder if slowing down has been the culprit. As that finds the zone. Speak of the devil. Retires the side there. And we will head into the top of the 6th. 4-0's the score.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touch.
And we're back on Fort Scott Sports Live. Delaney Hill up first. Starts off up in the count. Right here in the lineup has more so been the pivotal point. The top of the lineup today for this Neosho County team, or at least first two, Willard and Norris, haven't really been able to put anything together so far. But after that, you've got Cox, who was able to rally herself around the bases, Kohlmeyer with a pair of doubles, and then Hill, Bass, Godfrey, Eberly, and Bowyer all able to just kind of put the bat on the ball, give their base runners a chance. They've been drawn up some really good situations, just unable to capitalize so far in today's contest. We will see if that streak breaks here in the top of the 6th. Like to cut this one down by at least one, I would think. The last thing you'd want is to head into the final inning of competition down 4 and chasing with Fort Scott still holding an at-bat. It all starts here. Hill with a full count, right into the glove of Greg. Brings up Caitlin Bass. Baseball just wrapped up their contest at Labette, taking down the victory 10-1. So congratulations to the Greyhounds baseball team. Oh-2 count for Bass, as that one's just outside of the zone for ball one. Kinsey has done a phenomenal job mixing in the off speed and always going very quick on the mound, giving these batters very little time to settle in, which I think is such an underrated move in softball, baseball, everything. Something that I think keeps viewers on their toes for one, but also just as a defense, you know, you've got the time to get set and get ready. As soon as these batters are stepping in, they've pretty well got to be good and set. 2-2. This one, grounder back to Kinsey as she will flip it over to Carr on first. Out number 2 comes from the hands of Aubrey Kinsey off the bat of Caitlin Bass. Brings up Godfrey. A 1 count for Godfrey. Swung on. This is popped up in the infield. Perez makes the call and delivers the out. 3 up, 3 down once again. Neosho County unable to get any base runners in the top of the 5th or the 6th. We'll be right back as Fort Scott batting in the bottom of the 6th.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganachi!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grasp, gets it away, Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand.
Kaylin Gregg up to bat first here in the bottom of the 6th. Now a couple situations here for Fort Scott. Obviously, if they rally here, they've got potential 2-run rule as we are past 5 innings. But for the most part, what they're looking to do, maybe get 1-2 runs on the board, get themselves a pretty comfortable lead that has to be obtained by pretty much batting through the entire lineup, and then go out there 3 up, 3 down. That would be satisfactory of course. Obviously setting themselves up in a pretty good situation regardless of how this offensive presence goes here in the bottom of the 6th. Greg sitting with the 1-1 count. This is swung on and popped up. Will just nick the fence, rendering it foul. 1-2 count now. Cox pitch. This is popped up sky high and brought in by Abby Godfrey, the shortstop.
Now batting, number 1, Kylie Goad.
Brings up Kylie Goad to the plate. Now with 1 out to try and be the spark here in the 6th. Sees strike 1. Oh, 1 stop. First strike 2 for Goad. Goad is currently just below that 300 average on the season, sitting at 299. Out of Troy, Texas. The 1-2. Finds the outside of the zone. Goad in disbelief of that one, but certainly looked a little bit more outside than what we are used to seeing today. Not to say it wasn't over the plate, but I can see the understanding from Goad. 1-0 count to start off for Caitlin Carr. Swung on, headed for left, and reeled in by the left fielder Bruns, which will wrap up the bottom of the 6th. We head into the top of the 7th. Greyhounds needing 3 to win.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
And we're back for the top of the 7th. Up first will be Anna Eberly, followed by Sadie Bowyer. And then, or no, excuse me, it looks like a new batter on deck for the Neosho County team. Get you that name here in a second. As this one swung on, headed for the outfield. Parmley calls for it and reels it in. So the new batter is going to be number 6, Kaylee Parker. Parker pinch hitting for Sadie Bowyer. And then it'll be back to the top of the lineup following that with Jaden Willard.
Panthers, number 6, Parker.
Foul ball brings strike one for Parker. Swung on, back up the middle to Kinsey, and that is an out at first. Well played by the infield. Aubrey Kinsey getting the job done with some fast reflexes. 2 outs now here in the top of the 7th. As the top of the lineup, Jaden Willard up first. Takes strike one. Kinsey with a lot of pressure on this at-bat. Still not showing any signs of laying off here, but this is swung on back up the middle into center for a base hit. So the tying run will be in the hole, and it will have to be the batter in the hole as we have a new face taking the plate. Gonna be number 9, Marley Miller.
Now batting for the Panthers, number 9, Miller.
So in a 4-0 deficit, trying to put myself in the shoes of the batter here. The mentality going through this at bat. I mean, obviously thinking hit, but is there any sort of strategy that you're taking into this? Maybe trying to see a strike. You haven't batted all day. One's the count. Kinsey leaves it just a bit high for ball 2. That one's outside for ball 3. Weird situation here for Miller where you don't want to put something bad into play. She thought that was ball 4, but comes across strike 2. Still has yet to take a cut. 5 pitches into this at-bat. 3-2 pitch is low for ball 4. Tying run on deck. We'll have a timeout here as Greyhounds crowd the mound. Try and get a quick pep talk. Get these ladies straightened out for this last out, as you have Pilar Cox stepping in. Hasn't been too many signs of power hitters for this Neosho County team. Knock on wood, of course. Not trying to jinx this game, but given the situation, I would say this Neosho County team is probably trying to just put the bat on the ball if need be. But after a walk, part of me might be thinking you're stepping up and waiting for the 2-strike count. Now one inside for ball one. One count. She takes strike two there, and now all of a sudden, Aubrey Kinsey has flipped the script in this at-bat. Starting it off with one ball after the walk. Maybe she was letting some slide, but no. 1-2 count, way outside. Third out is collected by Perez, ending the game the way that the Greyhounds started it. A ground out there will conclude this contest between the Greyhounds and Neosho County. And I believe we'll wrap this thing up on Fort Scott Sports Live. So we'll head into the post-game show. 4-0's the final here on Fort Scott Sports Live. Fort Scott obviously taking the victory and advancing to 10-21. Neosho County, on the other hand, will go to 12-17 on the season. So falling quite a few games behind that 500 mark, but Fort Scott has continued to prevail in these home contests as from what we've seen. And hoping to see that continue going forward. So with that being said, we will wrap this thing up. I'm Drake Miller. Thank you for watching on Fort Scott Sports Live. We will catch you next time on, let me see, that'll be next weekend, the 18th, baseball versus Neosho County as well. So stay tuned for that, as well as the rest of the weekends throughout April. The next softball contest will be the 28th, and so if you're a softball fan for Fort Scott, make sure to tune into that one. Thank you again for watching. We hope you all have a wonderful afternoon and evening, and we hope to see you all next time.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.